Right. Sorry for the delay today. Having a few technical difficulties here. And so, welcome to our channel, the Trade with UFOs FX channel here. It's the US session. My name is Andrew Hahn, and glad to be with you here today on the 10th of December, Thursday once again. If you saw me on FX Street last week, thanks for joining us here on our YouTube channel, and you will find me again next week on FX Street. But glad that you can join us here. Now, as we are scrolling through our disclaimer here, and if you are new to the channel, then I'd just like to point out that if you want to sign up for our free membership, there is the website here, www.tradewithufos.com/Andrew, that you can navigate to, and that will get you signing up to when the sessions are on and when our sessions are on FX Street, and also other sort of news that comes out. Okay, so since we only have a little bit of time here today, because of these technical difficulties that we're having, our session will only be 25 minutes long. Okay, so I'm just going to get right to it. Right. Okay, so what's been going on here? Aussie dollar's been strong, euro's been strong, pound has kind of been wavering a little bit. We've also had weakness in dollar CAD and dollar yen, but more so in the dollar CAD, and so are we going to see higher oil, same as kind of last week? I was talking about last week. I think we are seeing a little bit of pause, but we'll see, and so that will have an influence on dollar CAD. As we've seen, CAD seems to be stronger, as we've seen with all the commodity currencies out there. And dollar yen has been kind of ranging, and some interesting moves in the equity. So we'll also take a look at Aussie yen, as well as the Aussie, and we'll look at all these, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. So let's jump to two things straight away. And I did want to give a quick look at the daily market overview for today, which if you do sign up for our membership, you will get an email on this every day. And what we do here is just give you a glance at some of these key markets and the climate that exists, as well as some of the key UFOs, the nearest UFOs, so on the sell side as well as the buy side. And in particular, since we're looking at Forex today, the euro is something that's always interesting to us, and so we do have some levels on the sell side way up at 123.44, 124.14, and also some buy euros down at 119.63 and 119.24. And in terms of the volatilities, and what's interesting around this is it gives us also a sense of how far things can move within a day, within a week, and kind of give you a sense, right, of the type of volatility around euro, and in terms of the pips that can move up or down from current price. And so this kind of can also just give you a gauge of almost like what the ATR can give you from a daily perspective, or if you apply it on the weekly perspective, that it can move, say, in this case, sort of 60 pips up or down from 121.04. It can move up to 121. you know, 60, say 64, or down to, you know, 120, you know, 40, right? So that's kind of the daily range that we can expect. And you know, if you want more commentary on this, you can go to our YouTube channel, where every day Becky actually gives a daily kind of talks through this newsletter, and also highlights some important stuff there as well. So so if you go to Trade with UFOs, Trade with UFOs, our channel, so firewall. Okay, that's me now. You can go to say our playlists, and go to the daily market overviews, and that's where you can you know, get those every day, right? So Becky does do some really cool stuff here. So that's just there for your info. Okay, some music there. All right, now, so again, this is the tradewithufos.com/Andrew if you want to get the free membership. And but what we really want to dive into now is you know, what's going on in the markets, and for this week we really only have you know, a few things coming up for the rest of the today. You know, we've had the ECB talking, and that's going to move the euro a little bit today, and we also have the CPI numbers that have just come out, and then coming into tomorrow, just some you know, so the Michigan Sentiment Index. But the big week really is coming up next week, where we have, you know, the ECB talking some more, but also the FOMC is coming out with the interest rate decisions and this sort of stuff. So all of these, you know, could have you know, some interesting moves in the market next week. Could influence the dollar quite significantly. So it's something that we really want to watch out for. And you know, with the dollar in mind, okay, I thought we'd just go through and look at more things from a daily perspective today, since we only have a shorter time with each other, and also bringing into focus the auto climate. And sometimes it's good to do this, you know, at the beginning of every day, or you know, maybe the beginning of the week and the end of the week, just to kind of give that big picture sense, right, of where these markets are moving on a day-to-day basis. And of course, as we've moved into this week, we've seen dollar kind of moving higher, you know, after that big move to the downside, or that continuation to the downside, where it you know, kind of went past that 90, you know, 50 you know, point. We're kind of giving a little bit of a retracement back up towards this 9150 area. And this is also where, you know, you can flick on the, you know, the UFOs as well, to give you that perspective of where is price moving, where is it likely to have some trouble moving higher, you know, as it reaches these sell, you know, areas of unfilled orders, or if as it moves, you know, lower, you know, where is it going to find you know, problems moving further past this you know, 70, you know, sorry, 89.75 level, you know. So in between, it's kind of you know, no man's land. And so flicking these, you know, the UFOs, auto UFOs on, can help give you that perspective as well. And so, but first, I kind of like to just go through, you know, these bigger pictures, and there you can get a sense of you know, this is where the Aussie is how it's kind of powered on, you know, throughout this last week, kind of hitting that 75 whole number. So that's kind of some key whole number levels that we're seeing here. Aussie kind of breach. But what has been interesting is if we look at the New Zealand dollar, which had tended to lead, this whole charge to the upside, in the prior week, it's kind of lagging now. So if we kind of still see New Zealand as a little bit of a leader in the commodity space, we should expect maybe some weakness coming flowing into the Aussie, and maybe coming into the Canadian dollar. So that's something just to keep in mind as we reach these significant highs after very strong uptrend. And so that's also what's been interesting about, if we kind of look at what's been going on just from the market overview perspective. We're kind of long in tooth, right, in terms of in particular how these markets have been moving. On average, we would tend to see these upward moves only about 4.5 days, long, say 5 days long. But we've been going up and up for double that, So even from an average perspective, even if you say, hey, look, sometimes you get, these trends, right, propagating, over say 6 or 7 days, right? I mean that's still, a week and a bit of trading days, sort of from a trading day perspective. But to go out to 12 now, that's kind of getting, really up there, and so it's, as we kind of look at these statistics, right, even though things are going up and up and up, we've got to still go with that trend. We need to also just be mindful that, hey, look, maybe this trend is kind of it should be ending soon, and so that's what we're seeing now. On the New Zealand, we see from the climate telling us that, hey, we've had this change now, so we're coming into some sort of change. So we just have to be careful. Whereas the Aussie is still, up and up and up. Dollar is still down, 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 right? So even though we've had that sort of moves to the upside, we're seeing New Zealand in particular as one of the, kind of seems to be a leader, leading the pack in that sort of sense, from a dollar pair perspective, moving lower. That could be a sign for us to just get ready for some changes on the other markets. So we see Euro hasn't changed yet, as we can expect, inverse to the dollar there, but we are getting long tooth now. It's even longer, that we've had this upward move. We see this turn now in the pound, right? So still strong, but a lot of volatility. A lot of Brexit talk coming up here, and but where we have put in a we'll see what happens at the end of today, how the market moves to the downside here, whether that stays like that for pound. And that's the CAD that we're kind of talking about. It's been pretty strong from a CAD perspective versus the dollar. The Canadian side of things have been pretty strong, but again, we've had, are we coming into a bit of a pause here, right? So the Swissy also been pretty. Swiss has been strong versus the dollar. And yen has kind of been this sideways, between kind of moving between 104, 50 and 103.70, so a little bit of weakness coming in here. So if we jump across now to the dollar, the Aussie yen, right? We are now reaching, if we look at some of these prior highs here. So again, turning on the AutoUFOs to give us a sense of where, from a daily perspective, we are running into some resistance. in the past. So it's the origination of that resistance area. We had some testing back in August, and this is kind of the second test up here. And is this a little bit of a reflection as well of some of the risk, the carry trade? Is it now is funds being kind of flowing into the Aussie because of the carry trade sort of side of things? Are people more comfortable with the risk? That seems to be what it's indicating. But we're also, we're remembering that, on the equity side, we're reaching all-time highs, and we also have had, a little bit of a, if we go to the SPX, the S&P 500, maybe we'll just go to say the actual index itself, right? We've been making new highs, but now we have, as of yesterday, right, we have this engulfing, candle here, bearish engulfing candle. So is that telling us something, about where the market is headed? And so, we're watching the climate pretty close. We've had a number of up days versus the normal, maybe a couple of days beyond the statistic there, but nevertheless we are moving higher here. So we need to see more evidence, right, of and this is the first one, right? This is an indication, right? This bearish engulfing candle that we may expect some sort of weakness coming in over the next day, going into next week. So is that what we're going to see coming through? That's what it's what Aussie yen seems to be telling us. Potentially is look, it's coming into this area of sell unfilled orders, and it's kind of reacting to that now. It was maybe catching up to where the S&P was, or the risky assets was. Selling off, potentially coming down into, back down towards 77.50, right? Is what it seems to be indicating here, at least from a daily perspective, right? So is that what is going on here? Is that, and so that's part of the plan, right, that we can put together, is to let's look at the Aussie yen on a lower time frame. So you can see here from a 4-hour perspective, we've had a bit of a doji here, or I shouldn't say doji, it's a not exactly a pin bar to the downside, but definitely some selling pressure to the downside. And then the last 4 hours, so just the beginning of the next 4 hours, we have now seen some sell-off out of that daily area, right, coming into that price came into just 4 hours ago, is now responding to. So if we don't want to take a short here at this point in time based on what we're seeing, right, because even from a client perspective, the bigger picture is that it hasn't turned yet. So let's see what price action is doing on the hourly, and so we've seen this move higher and also this big move lower, and so maybe what we want to do is wait for some sell UFOs to form here, and let's see what we're seeing on the lower time frame. Are we getting those sell orders coming in yet? Not yet on the 15, but there we are seeing some on the 5 minutes. So there is, at these micro levels, some sell orders coming in. I'm just going to highlight that in purple just so we can make that pop out, right? And so if I just kind of move this, repurpose that line up here, potentially this is an area that if we get some retracement into, very short term view here, right, we are seeing some selling coming in, and so we do want to take a retracement back up to here. that is a potential area. And so just for example here, if I want to put a sell limit order at this set of UFOs, maybe I want to get a little bit earlier at 78.25. The risk here would be 36, say 37. If we just want to take it up to the top here, stop loss up to, even if we just wanted to take a 25 pip, stop here, that's also something we can do. And if you just want to do a one-to-one, that is also something that you according to your plan, you could do. Risking, say, just to kind of round it out to a whole number, say you want to risk $100, then you want to take a 0.4 off of that, and that's potentially, right, an opportunity that you could put into the market there. Let me just turn on so we can kind of see where those orders fell into, right? So it's a very generous stop there, and because you've positioned, you have a set risk. Let's say your risk is always going to be $100 that you're going to risk on every sort of trade. You just had to adjust your position size according to that risk, right? And so you got plenty of room here for price to move if you're wrong, and because you're only risking, the $100 which you want to risk, right? That your account allows you to risk, then you should be golden with that, right? So that's what we've got here on the Aussie yen. Now this, of course, is a is a counter trend trade. Okay, so the risk of getting stopped out, we have to call it out, right? That is a high risk opportunity that we're doing here, which is counter trend. We generally want to go with the trend, and if that's the case, then you want to initiate your trade here, right? But of course, if you do that, then you're going to have to expect lower types of risk and reward profiles to the upside, because again, you also know that, hey, look, I'm hitting up against a set of a stack of unfilled sell orders up here, and so you can't expect yourself to really go longer than than this sort of area here, right? Now we're on a very low time frame here, on a 5-minute time frame. So if we do want to pull that back a little bit, say back to the hourly, if you're looking to take a long, then of course here is where you'd be looking to get long back into, right? So again, depending on how you want to frame things out. Now I've got a week. Let me just see where my daily is. My data is all the way down here. So still, still room to the upside, and I think that's the opportunity that's there for you to maybe take advantage just short term, right? And maybe you want to risk a little bit less rather than risk your normal $100. Maybe you risk $50, right? Because you are doing a counter trend trade, and so maybe that is the opportunity that how you risk adjust your opportunity there. Okay, so hey, look, we are coming to the end of potentially the time that I have on the channel here, coming up to that 25-minute mark. So again, apologize for having to cut this session a little short. But we will try to get these little technical things worked out and bring you a proper full 45 minutes to an hour next time that I'm on the channel here. So again, hey, thanks for your time. I will flash up here again the link that if you did want to, oops, here. sign up for the membership, okay, you can just click on that. Okay, so, well, not click on that, but you can just type that in, and that'll take you to that web page and where you can sign up for things. Okay, well, hey, have a good day. Hopefully you'll be able to learn something there from things, and we'll catch you later.